Hello people, so yeah, it's Peter here down in the old man shed, enjoying my time in here. Just got the nuclear flask train running and maritime class 66 pulling the tip-hock wagons, just going around. Remember to turn the sound off this time so they can hear me. Hopefully I've got good news. The YouTube problems I was having, I still am, but I found a workaway around it. Now I use a Mac laptop, and the web browser that comes with a Mac is called Safari, and everything works on it except the YouTube notifications and when I want to reply. So I thought to myself, well, I wonder if there's another browser out there. Is it the browser, the fact it's a Mac software? There is another one out there called Opera. Downloaded that one, was a free one to use, and hey, everything seems to be working under YouTube now, so I'll be able to I certainly can reply to your videos, and hopefully, you know, reply to your comments or whatever, or leave comments at least on your videos. Yeah, Alan, I was watching your live broadcast yesterday, really enjoyed it, but you see I was typing comments into the live reply, and I don't think you could see them because although it was showing it on my laptop that it was there, no, you know, typed quite a few things, and I don't think you know, it registered that I was on there. But anyway, so hopefully I got that sorted. And yeah, getting back to you, Alan, it's a shame about the your Bachmann 6640, isn't it? Whatever it is, you know, I've got the same model there. It's on the track there, as you can see. And now, Alan, I'll tell you what, mate, I'm not buying any more sound fitted Bachmanns. I will buy the model and put a sound chip in myself, because I thought it was me being, you know, I've not been into DCC as long as you have, Alan, so I thought, you know, you've had more experience of me, and I thought it was just me being unlucky that I was having all these motor failures. But looking at all the ones I've had the motor failures on, it's been on the Bachmann 66, the EWS sound fitted. That went wrong on me. I had to change the motor on that. I bought the class 37 Europhoenix. That went wrong, and I've had to change the motor on that. And yeah, getting the motor in and out of a class 37 is yeah, great fun. It's not as easy as the 66 is a breeze, as you know, Alan. 37, yeah, a little bit more fiddly. But I bought another class 37, a new one, Cassiopeia, and that was DCC ready. So I had a sound chip to put in that, and hopefully, touching wood, it's been absolutely a dream. It's the best, you know, really a good running loco. And interestingly, the chip I had to put into it was a sound chip, so it had the wires for a speaker. Well, it came with a little sugar cube speaker, which straight away I cut off, leaving the wires obviously. But unbeknownst to me, when I opened up Cassiopeia to put the sound chip in and the speaker, put the sound chip on, went to look on the PCB board where you solder the speaker wires to, and there was no such solder pads. So I thought, oh, so luckily enough for me, because I bought a sound chip, it did have the wires attached where I cut the speaker off, so obviously I then soldered the speaker to those wires and everything's all hunky-dory. And I don't know, because it's my first experience of coming across that PCB board, whether or not if the sound fitted locos have a different PCB board to one that is a DCC ready. I don't know, I've just not experienced it. And Cassiopeia being one of the latest versions, maybe they changed the board. But I think I've replaced no fewer than 3 motors now on what was Bachmann sound fitted locos. They've all shown the same symptoms, in as much as they all ran well to begin with, and then if you left them running just like we're looking at my layout now with the trains running, you go back to it sort of a half hour later to either slow the engine down or whatever, and then you get this jerking, you know, this erratic behaviour through a certain speed step, and then as you go into the lower speed steps it behave itself again. But eventually, as you know, I think I had one of them which was Evening Star, it almost virtually stopped. You know, kept leaving it running, and then it virtually stopped. So I don't know if it has overheated like yours did, Alan. I didn't notice the heat on the body, but certainly something was wrong with it. But thinking, I don't know. I know on a sound-fitted loco, the Bachmann use an ESU lock sound chip, which is a cut-down version of the one that you buy, you know, from the general, you know, shops and things, you know, because I know Lego Man Biffo says he doesn't like them. You can't rewrite the sound files. You can't write to the chip. There's a certain function that's been disabled, so it's like a budget version of the ESU lock sound that Bachmann use, and whether or not if that's what's making the motors go, I really don't know. But sorry to see you've had the same trouble though, Alan, but in a funny sort of way it almost reassures me and think to myself, well, it's not just me then. So and you've been using it for a lot longer than me. So at first, when I was using the Elite controller on my layout, I thought it was something to do with the Hornby Elite, because that's when it happened. But no, it's gone wrong with me now. I'm using the Gauge Master 2 Prodigy. The same thing happened on another loco. But touch wood, all is good at the moment. Everything's behaving itself. I'm not really that bothered if they go wrong now, because I'm quite a dab hand now. I know how to replace the locos, the engines. On the 66s they're an absolute breeze to do. The 37, a little bit more difficulty, but I found that what to do with the 37 is to unsolder the bogies, get them out of the way, because all the time you've got the bogies hanging, and you've got to get the drive shaft out obviously, and if the bogies are hanging down, you catch the little bits of white plastic that's on the bogie sides, and it ends up getting mangled and everything. So to stop all that happening, just unsolder from the pickup points on the side of the bogies. It doesn't take long to solder them back up again when you want to reassemble everything. So a little bit more fiddlier than the 66, but now I've sussed out what to do. It holds no fear for me now. What else have I done? You know, I've been cutting up little signage and things like that for around the layout, and then as you can see on the front of the layout, at the very edge, I've got a fence running on the front, and that's got a couple of gates in it, and I thought to myself, oh, you know what, just stick some stickers on there as well, you know, no entry and all the rest of it. So that's what I've done there. But no, otherwise the layout, all is good. Hopefully now, with the Opera software on the Mac, I can now get notifications now of videos and reply to your videos now. I think it's all come back. I haven't ditched the Safari browser off the Mac itself, which comes with it, because, you know, maybe one day if they do an upgrade or something like that, the YouTube will sort itself out anyway. So, but for now, at least I can reply to your videos and your replies to me, so that'd be good. No, I'd say I think I've done everything that I can do now, because all the kits I had with all this, you know, with all this self-isolating and everything, and coming down, being able to come down and play trains virtually every day, I've kit bashed everything I've had. I had, let me see, you know, the yard lamp there that they made from scale model scenery. Well, at the time I bought two, and so I've now built the other one, which is now residing over here. So exactly the same thing. So another yard lamp there, and also another little kit bash, again scale model scenery, and I don't know if I keep it or keep the Bachmann Scenecraft one I had. Was the little security hut. That's the one that came. I built that one up. I'm not really a favourite of card kits, but I don't know, I built that one, replaced the little Bachmann one that I've had, which was small. So this one's slightly bigger. There's a figure in there, believe it or not. But yeah, I don't know, doesn't look too bad. So that's what I've been doing. So I've got nothing else to build. Everything's done. Oh my God, what do you do, eh? Trying to think what else to do with the layout. I mean, it's all running fabulous. I did buy Hunt couplings for the they do an ultra close one. If you remember, I did the China clay wagons from Dapol, the silver ones, and put the close couplings, the Hunt couplings, which was the close couplings on it, and it must have had a huge gap in the first place between the each wagon, because even with the close coupling fitted, it didn't really look that close. Well, they've produced one they call ultra close, and I got a set of those, and they are fabulous. So they've been put on the China clay wagons, and they fit a lot better. The gap is a lot better, and it still runs around my second and third radiuses, no problems whatsoever. However, I did try adapting my fuel tankers with Hunt couplings, and that wasn't too great a success because the wagons are quite light, and what was happening was, as the magnets, there's no movement at all on the couplings, you know, they're rigid. So as the wagon went round the curves, the magnets had to open up a little bit. They didn't let go, but they had to open a little bit in order for the wagon to go around a curve. But of course, as soon as it was on the straight section, it sort of like snapped shut again, if you understand what I'm getting at. So there was a jerk as the magnets you know, went back to being dead face on instead of on an edge, because going around the corners they go edge on but still hold on, but going on the straights they obviously meet surface to surface squarely. And the magnets are so strong that, as I say, as the wagon comes round a curve and goes onto the straight, there's a jerkiness as the magnet is stronger than the weight of the wagon. I did attach a little bit of extra weight to the wagons, and that worked. However, just thinking, you know, these wagons, there is already a weight that Hornby fit in them. I was fitting extra car weights, you know, the ones for the wheel balancing type of weights. And then I started thinking to myself, well, you know what, I mean, it's a metal spike in a little plastic bogey, you know, the edge, the frame. And I thought to myself, extra weight, that's not going to help with the wear on the plastic, is it? It's going to do something to that over time, admittedly not immediately, but over time. So I resorted back to fitting Bachmann normal couplers back onto the wagons. I took the Hunt couplings off and put little universal couplings, but not the big D couplings that was already on the wagons. These are like your normal couplings that you get to fit in them pockets. So the wagons are looking good again. I took the extra weight off. The other problem I had also with it is that I was using what was it, a class 67, Hornby's class 67, and also I even tried the Dapol's class 68 there that's going around to try and pull the tankers, and they've got a stupid mechanism with a coupling on the Hornby and the Dapol, whereby it's on a spring, and it distorts the spring as it goes around the edge of the track. This thing gets pulled out, goes to one side, but doesn't go back to being straight again when it's going down the straights. And oh, it was derailing the first wagon. And it just happens with the Hornby 67s and the Dapol 68s because of this sprung loaded coupling, that mechanism that they've got fitted, whereas obviously on the Bachmanns they're rigid, they're great. So I don't have any aggravations with the 66s and the class 60 to a certain extent as well. That seems to be okay, but yeah, certainly Hornby 67s and the Dapol 68s, they've got this weird and wonderful mechanism which I don't like. So I've done away with it. I've changed it back. So there's a couple of 37s that are fitted with the normal couplings, so they pull the wagons now because there's no Hunt couplings on them now. But otherwise everything else is fitted with Hunt couplings and it works well. Right, okay, so these are the wagons in question. What I did is I cut off the large D couplings that was fitted to the wagons by Hornby, which was mounted there with a rivet. So I elected just to cut the whole rivet assembly off, and then you've still got the two pegs either side, which takes this coupling. So that's now been stuck on, so I've got the nice little couplings on there now, which is a lot better than the horrible looking D couplings of the Hornby, and it works. This is the I've still got get some more of these couplings, so this is still fitted with the Hunt coupling at the moment, which I tried. This is the problem that you got, and it's possibly may have only been because I got Hornby set track. If you got better radius, radius curves, it might not have been severe, but on my one, as it goes round the bend, you see, like that, it goes round, but the magnets separate, and then of course as soon as she would be straight, it would snap, cause it to make it jerk. So 1 minute's like that, and then I'm not showing it too good on here, I know, but because there's such strong attraction, it just calls that actual, jerkiness. So it goes round the corner like that, but then as it's straightened up, it calls a little sudden, jerk. So put extra weight underneath, and it worked. But then I started thinking to myself, well, these wheels, they're only on a little spike in plastic, and if you're putting extra weight on the loco, you're going to wear the plastic. So I've gone backwards on this one. So when I get the other couplings, I will go for that one. And then in order to the other issue I had, right, so I did use the class 37 to pull the wagons around, but like the Dapol 68, Hornby's mechanism, where it pulls out going around the corners, and then what was happening, it wasn't going back, because if it's got weight on it, it stays put. It doesn't go back to the centre. If it's got something pulling on it, it wants to stay out either that side or that side, depending what way round it's gone in round the track. And that causes no end of derailments. So doing away with that. So this is I'll take the Hunt coupling out of this particular loco, stick the normal couplings back on there, and then she will work fine with its normal tankers. So the class 67 Hornby use this system, and so does the Dapol 68s, and that gives me aggravation on my set track curves. It doesn't want to go back, whereas if I use the class 37 with its normal coupling on the end, that is absolutely perfect because it moves. So the DRS 37s, and also this other one, the large loco, although it's missing its hook, that pulls the tanker wagons, no problem whatsoever. So they're relegated to, if ever I get the tankers on the track, they're the two locos that will pull the wagons. But yeah, otherwise that's the only aggravation I've had. Here's, let me bring it into focus, hold on, get rid of that. Let's bring up, so this is the super close coupling. You can see how very small that is on the China clay wagons. So now when they're together, make sure he puts the right one to the right one. There we are. So that's closer. Before, that might have been out as far as that, but now they're like that, and that's no problem at all now. So that's great going around my curves. Right, that's it, guys. Nothing else to report at the moment, other than the fact, as I say, just playing trains and trains and trains. It's fantastic being down here. The layout's running well. It's not cold. Yeah, so there's a little plus side of this tragedy that's going on at the moment, but so everything's all right at the moment. All right, Okay, so I'll just stick the sound back on. He says, just get the old camera going a little bit at an angle for you. So there we are. So what do we have? Sounds. Hold up, got to get to the sounds. With the consist on the 68s, although you've got given it a locomotive number, you make the consist, in my case it's consist number 10, you've got to call up the loco still individually in order to turn its functions on, like its lights, like its engines, and so on and so on. So you've still got to do that. So when I turn on the sound for the Class 68, the nuclear flask train, I've got to call up both locos to turn the engines on. So even though it's known as a Locomotive 10, which controls the forward and stopping motion and reverse motion, the actual light functions, the sound functions, you have to call up the locomotive individually and still turn them on and off there. But it does all the usual things otherwise, like I'm going to stop it now under number 10. So I'm stopping it. Yeah, all the air braking and everything. So although they're two individual locos under the consist, it joins them together obviously. I'll just turn off 66 for a minute and turn the sound off of that one. So obviously now when I go to pull away, and there you are. So it's acting as one individual, even though the two locos are producing their own sounds. So great fun. Alright guys, okay, gonna leave it there. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. I'll try saying that. Stay safe. Oh dear. And I'll catch you all later. And at least I should be able to reply to your videos and to your comments now. So at least I got that sorted. Alright everybody, bye for now. Bye.